Good morning, students. Today, hope you all are safe, fine, and happy at home. Today, we are going to do the chapter The Sangam Age. Sangam Age is generally related to South Indian history. Okay, how do we know about the Sangam Age? Sangam Age, we know about the Sangam Age, we know the literary source is Tirukullarar. Tirukururar is a Tamil literature, means Sangamese deals with South India. This we all know. In South India, there were three important kings, that is Choras, Chelas, and Pandyas. So through Tirukullar, we are able to know what type of people lived there, what was their activity, what rules and regulations they followed, and what kind of life they lived. Because the way of living of North India was totally different from the way of living of South India. So it was Tirukullar is one of the most important work of the Tamil literature. Like in North India, we have Kalidasas, Sakuntalam, Meghdootam. In the same way, in South India, Sangam literature is very important because it gives the information of South India for a large extent. It consists of 1,330 Tamil couplets organized into 133 chapters. Each chapter is further divided into three major groups. So 1,330 couplets means hymns. Here in Hindi we call them dohas. In English we call them couplets. So when there are so many dohas, they were differentiated, or you can say they were divided into 133 chapters. And each chapter is further divided into three major groups known as Aram, that is righteous, what right work we should follow as a human being. Next is Porul. Porul means how can a person gain wealth. And the third is Imbam, means pleasure. How do we get pleasure? Some get pleasure by earning money, some get pleasure by beating others, and some get pleasure by helping others. For different people, the meaning of pleasure is different. But the inner pleasure will come only when you help others, when you help the needy, and when you do a work which is appreciated by others. Aram means virtue. Virtue means what are the right things which we should follow in our life. Like you should respect your parents, love the children, be rightful in your thoughts, do not steal, don't be jealous. These are the right paths which we should follow. Next, Porul means the principle of life for both common people and state. If you are living a grahastha jivan, or if you can say when you're living a life of ordinary people, you have to earn living means you have to earn money. Without earning money, you cannot live a life, because you need money to buy clothes, you need money to buy food, you need money for your health treatment, everything. So Porul teaches the principle how common man can live a life with little income, or what work they should do to gain income. Imban means aspects of love. Love, whenever we say everybody have give a smile, love does not mean only for a love of a wife or a girlfriend. Love, a mother's love to you, a grandmother's blessings to you, a love which a child gives you when you help the child, a needy person smiles at you when you help them. So love is a vast definition. We love God, we love our parents, we love our children, we love the nature. When you see a flower, you feel happy. So all these things means aspects of love. How can you win love? If you give love, you will get love, or if you give respect to others, you get respect from others. The important literary works authorized by Tiruvalluvar has been translated into 37 different languages. So Tirukullar literary source, which has been translated into 37 different languages. Now you can understand what is the importance of this literature. It contains a vast knowledge. That is why so many people, so many foreigners have translated these books into different languages, so that they can read it or give information to the people what is written in this book. It is considered as a compound of teachings of Dharma Shastra, the Artha Shastra, and the Kama Sutra. Now, what is Dharma Shastra? Dharma Shastra means what are the principles of Dharma we should follow by living on this earthly planet. Artha Shastra means politics, how the people can become leaders, how the leaders should love their children, people, and how a leader should guide its tribe or a kingdom. It is means politics. Next is Kama Sutra. Kama Sutra is you can say the family, the bonding by which the people grow in population. It preaches simplicity and truth throughout its verses. Simplicity is the best ornament of life. That is true. Whatever we do makeup, we use artificial things to make beautiful. That is only when a rain comes and washes away your beauty. But the virtue, good values, good things which you have in your mind is always with you. A person becomes beautiful by good quality, not by artificial makeup. Next is megalith. Megalith is the archaeological source, means it is the remain of the Sangam literature. It has a huge stone. It was a huge stone found at most burial site as and also known as memorial stone. Now let me tell you what a megalith. In South India, when people used to die, some used to be burned, but some used to be buried under the soil with all kinds of food, weapons, utensils, and then that body was covered with earth. And on that body, a huge piece of rock was placed so that nobody puts it out or it does not be disappeared. Something like that thought was there in the mind. So when a person died, it consists of all kinds of, so when the archaeologists did survey at these places or many places in South India, these type of sites were found by the archaeologists by which they came to know what types of utensils they used, what types of weapons they used, what ornaments they were, and what food they eat. So these places were termed as megalith. Mega means huge, lith means stone. As these burial places were covered with huge stone, it was known as megaliths. The megaliths contain not only skeleton of people, but buried iron tools, pottery, and pieces of rice and other grains also have been found. So this shows that the people of Sangam age believed in life after death. Means when a person died, he went to another world. So in another world, he will require the things. So that was why they buried utensils, stools, rice, clothes with the body so that he can use it in the other world. This was the thought of the people. Megalith reflect the most mode of disposal of dead bodies. So we know that in Hinduism, we burn the dead body. But through megaliths, we come to know that in Hinduism also, people did not burn the dead body. They disposed or buried the body under the ground. So this is how we come to know what was the method by which the dead bodies of human beings were disposed. It is mostly found at southern Tamil region where there were large agricultural settlements. Why they are saying that? Because agriculture means people grew crops, large pieces of land were there, and in those land only these megaliths have been found. Many iron tools and implements used during this period for agriculture, cattle rearing and fishing has been discovered from these megalith sites. This proves that they knew the use of iron. See, in northern India, during this period, Sangam period, when northern India, no archaeological site showed discovery of iron. But in southern India, when megalith was discovered, the iron tools, whichever they used, was found in the ground. So this shows that Sangam age knew the use of iron. Next is society. How the people lived. Class division and the tribal arrangements existed side by side. Now what is class division? Class division means we have read in the Vedas chapter, Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras. So here also the division of class were there, and tribal arrangements. What is tribal arrangement? Tribal arrangement, we can think about our state Jharkhand only, where the tribal people live. In the same way, in South India also, there were groups of tribal people which lived and survived there. So the regular society of division was there, as well as the tribal arrangement was also there. They were priestly class, ruling class, traders and farmers. So priestly class we can consider as Brahmins, ruling class as Kshatriyas, traders and farmers as Vaishyas. But the Shudras mentioned is not there. The Brahmins were respected and learned community. Naturally, at that time only the Brahmins had the power to gain education. So they were respected by the people as they were learned community. Kings enjoyed the ruling power and trade was common to both traders and farmers. Naturally, the people who rules the group or who's the leader enjoys the power. So king had the ruling power and trade was common to both traders and farmers. Why? Trader were the people who sell goods from one place to another. It means they buy goods from one place, sell it in another place, again from the another place they buy it and sell it in the third place. But farmers were also sometimes working as traders because farmers grew crops and other materials, cash crops also. So to sell their products, they moved from one place to another. So they were also took part in the trading part of the society. Their main foods were grains, flesh, fish, flesh and fish, vegetables, milk and milk products. Means they were vegetarian as well as non-vegetarians. Clothes comprised of two-piece. You know what is two-piece? The generally all Indian gods, male deity, they wear two-piece cloth. One is the dhoti, another is the shawl, upside down. Next, ornaments were worn by both men and women. If you look at your Dadaji, he may have a hole in his ears. So we can say that not at that time, men and women both were ornaments. Or if we look at the deities of our God like Vishnu, Krishna, Brahma, we see that they are wearing ornaments. So ornaments was not only for women, but it was for men. Do you think today men wear ornaments or not? Even today men wear ornaments. They wear chain, they wear rings, these things. They had entertainment like dancing, cockfighting, goat fighting, gambling and wrestling. Today also these are very common in our villages. Dancing, you all love to dance. Cockfighting, we call it Murga Ladai. Goat fighting, even today we have ox fighting also. Gambling, this you know this very nicely. And what is that when you go to the nightclubs, you play, that is gambling. And the wrestling, that is very famous in India. Next, the women did not get equal rights to that of men, but they enjoyed freedom of movement in the society. Means they did not get equal right. They were not allowed to gain education. They were not allowed to take part in the political assemblies, but they got the freedom to do movement in the society. Means they took part in the religious functions. They were free to move with their husband any place that they got it. They worshipped Kangi, Kanagi or Patini was an extension of worship of goddess of chastity. Chastity means god of power. Like we worship goddess Kali for power, goddess Durga for power. In the same way, in South India, they worship Kanagi or Patini was an like mother goddess to them. Now, what was their economy? Economy means earning money. What work they did to earn money? The agriculture was the main occupation at that time. The total India, or you can say the most of the parts of the Indian, was in the main occupation was agriculture. And Britishers wanted to make India an agricultural land, that you all know it. So agriculture was the main occupation. Next, the chief crops grown were rice, cotton, ragi, sugarcane, etc. and different varieties of fruits. So they grew many kinds of cash crop as well as food grains and different variety fruits. They love to eat fruits. Spinning and weaving. Spinning means making thread. Weaving means making clothes. Weaving of clothes had attained a huge degree of perfection. Today also, South Indian silk, South Indian cotton are very famous all over India. The other occupation was shipbuilding, metalwork, carpentry, rope making, and making of ivory products. Shipbuilding means in South India, the three parts of South India is covered with water. So the main means of communication was waterways. So they built ships. Metalwork, without metalwork, they cannot make tools. With that, they cannot clear the jungles. They cannot grow crops. So they had metalworks. Carpentry, that's very important. Rope making and making of ivory products. Ivory means teeth of the elephant. That was used by them as ornaments. Today also the ivory products are very costly. Next, both internal and external trade was conducted during this period. Now, what is the difference between internal and external? Internal means within the kingdom, external means outside the kingdom. Suppose if South India did business with North India, it was termed as external. Or if South India did business with Sri Lanka or other neighboring parts of the country, that is also known as external. But among the South India or inside their kingdom, when they travel from one part of their kingdom to another part, it was known as internal. So internal can be one state to another, or it can be one country to another. Paddy means rice, was the medium of exchange. Urayur was a great center of trade. Medium of exchange means they exchange everything. They use rice as a barter system. They exchange everything with the rice which they grew. Urayu was a name of a place, was a great center of trade. The great port cities were the Emporia of foreign trade. Emporia of foreign trade means with the whichever port, say, where there was a port, they did business, or they did foreign, they invited, the foreigners came and sold their goods, and they sold their goods to the foreign country. That was known as Emporia. Ports of Naura, Lindsey, Munzin, and Nilsundia were important ports on the west coast. Naturally, if you have foreign trade, if you do foreign trade, ports have to be developed. And in South India, ports will be developed because Western Ghat and Eastern Ghat, both the beside that there are many ports, as the oceans are on the both the side, so ports will be there for the ships to come and go. So that is why they did business with many foreign countries. So Emporia of foreign trade means South India was a center of foreign trade. Thank you, student. I think so this chapter is very small. You'll be able to understand. If you don't understand, please ask me. So through WhatsApp or through any ways, I'll be able, through your Facebook WhatsApp group, you can ask me any doubt, write the question answers and clear your chapter doubt. Thank you, all of you. करना नेक्स्ट वीक मेरा सारा जो संभव हो गया पेज ऑफ द बुक कर लेते पेज नंबर 58 हाँ रिकॉर्डिंग